Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Thomas in PEA 2066. Today is 25th of February 2023. I have a topic to present about study and trying to qualify as a PEA compared to the firm numbers as well as the value that is reported by NAPIC. Hi, welcome to my channel. Video taking 137 PEA exam and firm numbers, the 2023 updates. Today is actually 25th of February 2023. These slides were done a few days ago, and I'm Thomas in PEA 2066. Let me bring you this topic about numbers of PEA who are taking the exam, those people who are taking the exam. That means the new blood that is coming to the estate agency practice career and the firm practice in Malaysia. So this is the latest figure that we get. So we have a talk by the MIEA Sarawak on the Let's Talk Real Estate affair. This is a educational event that's organized by MIEA Sarawak, and I happen to be the speaker for one of these events, and on the 23rd of February 2 p.m. by Zoom. So we have an event on this, and I sort of go and dig out all the figures regarding studying, examination, and potential for going into this career. Okay, there are three key purposes that we are looking at these numbers. Three key numbers. What is the annual value which is generated by sales of these firms, collection of commissions, of course rely on the value of transacted properties. So NAPIC is National Property Information Center, and this center actually analyze all the transacted volume and value of properties in Malaysia, and then we rely on this figure as a total volume as well as value of transaction for property. So we want to analyze this figure and see how this piece of CAC, the economic CAC, is distributed in Malaysia setting by firm number as well as by region of state. Second is how is the diploma in estate agency exam candidates distribution across the country, because this is a public exam whereby if you are taking this exam, then you will be taking the exam like a SPM or STPM candidate sitting it in your own center. Let's say you are from Malacca, then you go to KL to sit for this exam. If you are in Johor, then there is a center in Johor. If you are in Sarawak, then there is a center in Kuching. If you are in Penang, then there is a center in Penang. So there are 5 centers. One is KK in East Malaysia, Sabah. One is in Kuching of Sarawak. Then West Malaysia, there are 3 centers. From central means usually is carried out in Inspan in Putrajaya. Johor will be in the Johor, and Penang will be in Penang. So all the other states, that you are in Alor, if you are in Kuala Terengganu, Kuantan, then you go to the nearest center to take your exam. So we want to analyze how are the centers, number of candidates in these centers compared to the production of all the value and volume of transaction. Then the last one is what is the current 2023 numbers of professional estate agent in registration. So if you have a lot of registration, a lot of competitor coming up, that means if you study this program and then qualify in the future, there will be a lot of seniors already qualified by then. So we want to see what is the potential of this career if you are comparing to these professionals. All these professionals one day will become registered estate agent, and you don't want to be in a competitive area. So let us begin. So key figure number 1, why we do this value and firm by state is we have different population distribution. Of course, you are seeing that the Klang Valley will have the most numbers of firm because there are huge numbers of population moving there, urbanization happening there, and therefore the need of property, transaction property by rental or by sales and purchase. Second is a different type of subsector. We need this number because we want to understand different type of subsector, because some places there will be residential, and some places there will be higher industrial building, or some places more of like agricultural land. So like Sarawak, there is a higher proportion of the transaction and the value from the agricultural land, whereas in maybe a certain part of Malaysia, there will be almost all the industrial sector, industrial land. There will be also different legal region on the setting that different legal region means that you have the land court, it's National Land Court for West Malaysia. Then you have a lot of this Tanah Rizab Melayu in some states in West Malaysia, and therefore the transaction of that state, because limited by the numbers of this highly restricted law, then it doesn't transact so much. So in East Malaysia side, there are two other different land courts, Sarawak Land Court and also the Sarawak Management System, which is different from West Malaysia. And Sabah also is a different land court region. And we have the last is the education level of development, because we are talking about education, and in the process of getting the qualification, you have a different region having different level, whereby in central region in Klang Valley, there will be a lot of colleges and university, and therefore the availability of channel to study is much better than outskirts, like say in West Coast compared to East Coast of Peninsula, and also the East Malaysia states, where our region, Wilayah Sarawak, we are limited to availability of colleges. So these are the reasons that we want to analyze. So by key numbers, in the sense that 2020 and 2021, total figure not yet out, for the reason that 2022 we don't have the NAPIC figure yet, by state, by firm, and the value versus firm number. So we want to see the percentage, because in the case that we want to compare state to state, you'll be very unfair, because if say you are in Selangor, Klang Valley, then of course your state, Selangor and Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur, they will be highly dense area. Transaction will be much higher, in line with the numbers of population. Candidates for exam would be how many candidates in that region by percentage versus the how many value of transaction that is produced by the state in also percentage of the whole nation. So we want to compare the value versus the firm number by percentage. So in area of highly dense population, then you have high value transacted, but then you also have a high percentage of firm, because there are businesses there. So the firm percentage compared to the value percentage of the country would be the better way of like to like, apple to apple comparison. So this is the way that we're going to do an analysis for PEA number, firm number, and the value of the transaction. So as we said, that there is no figure yet out. At this moment of presenting this video, there is no figure out yet for 2022 whole year value transacted. So here only up to third quarter of 2022. Okay, this is the table that I want to highlight. I have done three different columns from the far left, the states. You see the different states and the regions. Then you have the third quarter 2021 and the percentage of that of the whole nation, and then the whole year 2020 and the whole year 2021. So let's say we just zoom into whole year 2021. That means that Selangor actually had the value of 45,820.53. So how much is this percentage out of the whole Malaysia at that time? So whole Malaysia at that time, whole year is 144.867 billion. So this is in million. The 144,867 million. And if you compare Selangor, which is 45 1,820 million, then Selangor contributed 32% of the value of the whole country. So this figure is in percentage, is compared to how many firms out of the whole country at the time of 2021, around there. What is the percentage of firm? 30%. So 30% of firm in Malaysia producing 32% of value transaction. So this is the way that it is analyzed. So just to give you the picture that I am analyzing based on the distribution percentage of the value versus the number of firms. So you have other video ahead of this one, which was talking about this region comparison. Now in this particular discussion, we're going to do a comparison of the exam candidates. How many are taking the exam in this different region? What is the percentage like? So this is the one that I want to highlight. So we can see that in firm numbers compared to the year, and you line it up saying which is the best region to have the business. So in that case, in the case of total Malaysia, 100% of firms contributing 100% of the total sale. But if you see the percentage here, the number of firm percentage compared to the number of generated percentage, smaller percentage of firm contributing bigger percentage of value means that the firms are making more money. In here, the higher percentage and the lower percentage of the value, it means that there are more competition. There are more firms going after less money. So I have a bit like summarized. So Sarawak is we contribute 3% of the total Malaysia firm. We are contributing 5% of the value of transacted property sales. Sabah is 4% of the firm, but then transacted only 3%. Selangor is 30% of the firms in Malaysia, transacting 32%. So it's quite equal. Penang is 9% of the firm, but only 7% of the total value. East Coast is very high on the value, but very small number of firms. So Sarawak and East Coast, you can see very small number of firms and very high, much higher percentage in contribution to value. So these are indicator that these places are less competitive. So key number 2, supply of the new blood. That means we want to analyze the coming in, who are the registered agents in the future. So this is a lot of time affected, determined by the colleges and the tuition classes and the people who are studying for this exam. So if you have a lot of university and colleges and also tuition classes in that area, then you will be producing a lot more compared to a place that is no support. So types of degree that can qualify to become a registered estate agent would be a university degree, college executive diploma, or instant certificate, RISM diploma, or a board diploma in estate agency, which is the board exam for estate agent. So in that background of where to qualify, how do we see the other affecting factors that affects intake of these candidates? A lot of time is availability of the colleges, the cost involved, and the difficulty level, and the time taken for the completion. So like for example, if you do a 2-year certificate or executive diploma, is quite short. If you do a degree, it will be 3 to 4 years. If you do a professional diploma, then sometimes depending on how mature the person or how equipped the person is, or how determined the person is, it can be 4 to 5 years. So this will mean that the candidate coming into the job market for registered estate agent will be limited by all these factors. So the part that I want to highlight is that we actually have a board diploma in estate agency examination, the 2022 candidate numbers, 2020 candidate numbers, and then the 2019 exam held, and 2020 was no exam, 2021 also no exam. So the total candidate actually came, except for the exams in 2022 beginning of the year, how that was affected by COVID-19. You can follow through to the earlier video on this part of examination. You can check out my website and look for the correct earlier video on this. So the board diploma, because it is only a sub channel, it cannot reflect the total number of colleges and the total number of graduates that comes out for the probationary estate agency registration. So this is the 2020 and 2022 numbers of candidates. So you can see for Southern Region, Johor, Malacca, Southern Region, the so-called candidate composition, the percentage of candidates sitting for the diploma and estate agency exam is high at 27% and 32% during the year 2020 and the year 2022. So this compared to the number of firms in the composition of the local, I mean in Johor and Malacca Southern Region, the number of firms is only 12% of the whole country, but they have higher numbers of candidate composition in percentage doing this exam. In Klang Valley, of course, there will be a lot more because a lot more firms and high population also. In Northern Region is 6% in 2020 and 8% in 2022, whereby they actually have 12% of firms in Malaysia located in the Northern Region. Yes, Northern Region, Penang especially, is also highly dense. Sabah and Sarawak, if you look at the total population, about 4 million and 3 million, and the number of firms for composition is a percentage of 3 to 4%, and then the number of candidates sitting in the estate agency exam is about 3% of whole Malaysia. So this is the background of the discussion that we are looking at, whereby in some places there will be high numbers, the big numbers of PEA coming in, especially in the Klang Valley, because you have 58%, and this is not including those who are doing inspan, doing degree courses, doing executive diploma in many colleges in the Klang Valley. So the competition will be very high, whereby the firm number also already high. So key number 2, the overseas degree and Malaysian degrees, local university degrees. Every year they are coming out with many graduates, a lot of graduates, executive diploma especially, and the inspan certificate. If I'm not wrong, one intake of inspan intake can be hundreds of students. So this means that the total number may be our number here times more than 10 times. Huge number of candidate coming in as a probationary estate agent. And you can refer to the current state in the search by lpph.gov.my. We have registered 2,229 PEA as of February 17, 2023. Here you can see 2,229. And we want to use this figure as to analyze the numbers in some places. Later on we will see another video taking on the part of the distribution of PA, REA and the negotiator throughout Malaysia, which is a figure analyzed for the purpose of better understanding the distribution of regions, by regions, all this workforce. So Sarawak PEA, as we have end of 2022, is only 20 PEA, including myself. Myself is in here, 2066. So others, I do not want to put their names. So these 20 numbers, in fact, in the whole Malaysia is only 1%. 1% of the whole country. That means 20 over 2,229 is actually 0.9% of the whole country. So that means in Sarawak, we are in fact looking at very few coming into the career of real estate agency practice. So our conclusion for Sarawak here, Sarawak contributes about population 8.7% of the whole Malaysia at 32, 33 million. We are only around 3 million. Firms, we are about 3% of the whole country, about 48 registrant, people who are qualified to register a firm. And exam candidates in whole Malaysia taking the board exam is only 3%. And we don't have classes like tuition classes or executive diploma or degree courses. Only one degree course recently started in University Technology Sarawak, Cebu, and we feel that maybe there are not many candidates doing this degree also for the starting and then it started only 2023, so probably it will take 3 years to graduate. So NAPIC figure by state is only 5%. We contributed about 7.66 billion in 2021 in total of a whole nation at 144.8 billion. So we have only 20 PEA at the current moment, so it's about only 0.9% of the whole country. So looking at the next probably 5 to 10 years, there will be no incoming candidates to open up firms in Sarawak, apart from the 20 PEA, which will slowly take time to qualify. And we have the already senior age registrant also in Sarawak in the earlier years when they were the pioneer in the career. So those are already 70 plus years old. So our conclusion is in this presentation, PEA and firm updates in Sarawak for 2023, we compared the NAPIC figure whole year 2021, distribution percentage by state, and the distribution by firms also in the percentage by state. So we see that competition is very high in Klang Valley. Those who are taking examinations in Klang Valley also high, and including all those degree courses and diploma, executive diploma, that means competition is even more in the central region. So we are in this summary talk about various channels to become qualified under section 22D to be a probationary estate agent. So this degree and diploma courses by private colleges and institution of higher learning are the factor that contributed to the high numbers in central, because the colleges are in central. So where are the candidates? As I explained just now, all are in Klang Valley. So Klang Valley contributed about maybe 80% of the total numbers of candidates doing this exam. So we are only contributing about 1% of the whole Malaysia in the Sarawak state for the number of probationary estate agent, and we are really coming in, if you compare to the number of firms, 3% of the whole Malaysia, channeling about 5% of the total value. So the career opportunity for estate agency practice outside of central region, outside of Klang Valley, is positive, is very optimistic, especially places where there is very few PEA. Our PEA number is very small. So this is the Sarawak scenario the next 5 years to come, and probably the Cebu UTS would bring up the numbers. Thank you very much. These are my platforms. I have estateagentexam.com to study for the diploma in estate agency examination. I have the advertising platform, which is Contract to You and findway.info, and I collect all my videos in my blog called the My Real Property Online. Thank you for coming into my channel. I'm Thomas Sim, PEA 206. This is my mobile number and also my website address. Thank you again for coming to my channel.